Hello. So please introduce yourself and tell us how did you start bowling?
Okay, good question. Joe Slowinski, USBC Gold Coach, longtime contributor to Bowling This Month, as people know. So for me, my dad was a bowler and also a youth director for 25 years in the local association. So for me, I was going to the bowling center when I was very small. I actually started when I was 2 years old, and now I'm an old man at 58. So I've been involved in bowling for 56 years.
And I know that you're a coach, yeah, you just said it yourself, but have you bowled yourself? What is your greatest achievements in bowling so far? And then maybe about your coaching achievements.
I think from the bowling perspective, I remember very interestingly, as a teenage bowler, we set a top 10 score in the country when I was about 16. That was a pretty cool accomplishment. As a bowler, I won 2 state championships in 2 different states in the same year. I won all events in Maine and New Hampshire. Well, sorry, second in Maine, and I won in New Hampshire. That was pretty cool to do. Titles as a youth bowler, state championship, association championships, adult championships. Those were my major accomplishments. I was a PBA member. Didn't live very close to tournaments, so difficult to bowl in a lot of PBA events when I was a little bit older. But I'm really happy with the accomplishments that I had when I was younger. It gave me a love of the sport, and I think if I knew the information now, I would be a much better player then, both physically and from the lane play side. Coaching side, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm one of the few that have helped teams win gold medals in Asia, Europe, and also the American zone. Pan American gold medal is probably the biggest accomplishment because it's one of those things that is the highest. We have the Asian Games and the Pan American Games.
So we touched a little bit how you started your bowling career, but how did you turn out and start your coaching career? What attracted you to coaching?
Good question. I think go back to my father being a youth director for 25 years. Also, I would like to honor him. He's in the State Hall of Fame in the state of Maine. We would go to the bowling center early every Saturday morning. So my routine was getting up, eating some cereal, watching my favorite show as a kid, and then we would leave for the bowling center. Seeing his dedication and helping people, I became a certified coach at 17 years old. So that was my first coaching certification because really him as a role model, wanting to help others. I think that's one of those things that I wanted to, in many ways, do what he's doing, helping others to be better. And that started my 41 years of coaching there at 17 years old.
Wow, 41 years.
41 years. It's crazy how fast. I've 41 years of coaching. It's so crazy how fast it is gone.
Yeah, you have seen a lot of generational changes in bowling.
A lot. I mean, just being in Malaysia as the director of coaching, then the Kegel Training Center, then on my own internationally, then coming back to college bowling again, then going to the Philippines, and then coming back again to being a freelance international coach, traveling the world again. It's amazing the differences from the sport from when I started as a young kid to now. It's phenomenally different.
Yes, so to touch on that, what would be the biggest generational change in bowling that made the most impact in bowling and changed bowling, well, drastically in all those years you have seen?
I think the number one thing, obviously technology has changed the sport a lot, but it's paired with more knowledge than ever before. We have YouTube, we have coaching like myself. Many of us have shared information and knowledge with a lot of people around the world. It's easier to get information. More people are more knowledgeable today than any other time in history. So you have that, you have equipment starting to take impact. Then you have more standardization for lane pattern structures on the sports side, more information and knowledge, better physical games, right? People today throw faster with more revs, more energy transfer than any time in the history of bowling. That's undebatable, even though some people want to keep pushing us back in the skill level of others in the past, which they had. But today's bowlers are the best physical games ever. So today, two-handed bowling has changed bowling tremendously as well. So it's continued every 5 to 10 years. We see changes and evolutions of our sport on the Sad side though, recently we've been left out of the World Games. We just were left out of the Pan American Games for 2027. The question is in Qatar in 2030, will bowling be back in the Asian Games? So that's a big important part of federation money, both in the American zone and the Asian zone in particular.
Okay. And well, you have a lot of experience and you're a coach, but what would be the number one best tip for new bowlers so that they would start loving bowling and maybe continue? The best tip they could have?
You have to get in with a club that loves to bowl, but also that likes to train and enjoys the training process. You have to train to get better, like anything else. You want to have enjoyment with people. The relationships are probably the number one thing as a new bowler, is developing relationships with people. Enjoy a competition setting that is really exciting. We see that at Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. They don't even have money for the leagues. They go because they love the money. Not the money, they love to bowl. They have nicknames. They put a brick for a 300. It's exciting. It's like you see in other sports like rugby and basketball. People do it because they love it. But there's also, of course, people that enjoy it. So number one, get to an environment where you can have fun and the competition exciting setting is fun. Number two, get together with people that like to train and coaches that will push you and teach you some fundamentals. So that number one, you need good alignment, you need good positioning, and you need targeting. You also need to get a good fit because you can't swing the ball in any way. Even two-handers still need a good fit for that. So I would say make sure you get to a pro shop that's local, that you can at least get fitted so that you can start enjoying the sport and really get the big value out of it.
Okay. And a tip for new coaches.
Tip for new coaches is get outside of the bowling box. And what I mean by that is the best thing I ever did was start looking at sports science. Studying sports science from everything from sports psychology to kinematics to biomechanics, all periodization, nutrition, fitness and conditioning. All of those things, treat bowling as an athletic endeavor and get outside of the box that bowling has put itself in. There's too much conservative emphasis on things like timing. Oh, timing this, timing that, blah, blah, blah. Get outside of that. Read about coaches and concepts that are in volleyball, in basketball, in track and field, and it'll expand your mind. Keep an open mind. There's what I call a paper coach disorder. They attend a 2 to 3 day seminar, coaching certification, and all of a sudden, 3 days later, they're miraculously the greatest coach that has ever lived. And I have seen this happen. I've done the USBC coaches courses, and I always would say, don't be a paper coach. And I see too many people thinking they're all ready because they have a credential. We see this in school as well. You get a credential and all of a sudden, yes, it's an accomplishment and we want to honor that. But you should make it humble and realize how little you really know. And I'm very pleased with the journey that I've taken outside of the sport of bowling, but within the context of athletic performance.
Okay, thank you. And the last note, where can we find you and find information about you?
The easiest place is Bowling Knowledge on Facebook. That's my biggest area that you will find me. I also have bowlingknowledge.info/DYDS, which is my website. Those are the primary places. Also bowling this month, I've written a lot of concepts, so there are a lot of articles that I've written in the past in there. But Bowling Knowledge on Facebook is the primary location to see where I'm going and where I'll be. And I'm enjoying the journey. I keep learning until I'm dead.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.